Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Streaming Safari here at the Lion Habitat Ranch. Today we're not coming to you live, I'm so sorry, but we will be live again next week, and Denise will be posting this, should be somewhere around Saturday at 11:30, yeah. So today what I wanted to talk to you about, we talked a little bit about shadows the other day, and I wanted to do a few more things that have to do with the sun and shadows and telling time or even telling location. So today we're going to talk about longitude and latitude. So you might have heard about that before. What are our coordinates on the Earth? And so I've kind of drawn a little Earth for us. And we have our equator. And then you're going to have lines. If you look at a map that has longitude and latitude on it, you're going to see some lines that go across, which are indicating your latitude, and some lines that go up and down, or long lines, that are going to be your longitude.
Did you know there's a latitude and longitude dance?
There's a latitude and longitude dance?
To help you remember which way goes which.
Apparently there's a latitude and longitude dance.
So basically kind of what you did, but you kind of use both your hands in the same direction for longitude, and then for latitude is both arms going the other way.
So if you can't hear Denise, she is telling me that there is a latitude and longitude dance where when your hand is up and down, you're going longitude, and when it's side to side, you're going, oh, it's a dance. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole dance, Denise. Denise can do the dance for you guys a different day. But anyway, I think of longitude like it's long, so it's up and down. And if you don't know your directions too well, you're going to go never eat soggy waffles, or never eat sour worms, or anything that goes N-E-S-W. So for us, where we are right now in Las Vegas, Nevada, our north is actually going to be that direction, our south is going to be toward Aussie, and then that means that this would actually be turned around, and then that way is west. So you can probably maybe see the sun in the background is kind of setting that way. So rises in the east, sets in the west. And I want to show you the numbers on here as well. So we're going to go for our longitude from 0 to 180, and then our latitude, your north is going to be 90 degrees and your south is going to be 90 degrees. Technically there are some negatives in it. If you look at some things, it'll show you some negative numbers instead, going in either direction. Now, the first thing we want to do is, how are we going to be able to tell our latitude if we didn't have a map? And what's really cool, what I want you guys to try, which we can't quite try right now because we do Streaming Safari during the day, is going to be to find that using the North Star. So you're going to locate where the North Star is, and then what you're going to do is you're going to hold your fist out, and your fist is somewhere close to 15 degrees. And so depending on how many fists you can stack on top of each other from the horizon up to the North Star is going to give you a really good estimate of your latitude. So try that one at home at night. It's a nice little fun thing to do, especially this time of year when it gets dark really early. And then the other thing we want to know is, well, how could we tell our longitude without having a map? And this one's pretty cool. We can actually use something called Greenwich Mean Time. And Greenwich, I've written for you here, is actually this word, which looks like Greenwich. You can pronounce it. Greenwich is usually how it's pronounced. And it is in London, England. And it is actually at 0 degrees longitude. So we can use the time in Greenwich to help us figure out where our longitude is. And that's because in Greenwich, noon is when the sun is exactly overhead. So we have to do a little bit of math, which of course Denise is very, very excited about. Do we have a giraffe behind us, by the way? Yes, we do. And that little bit of math is going to require this number, 0.0667, which is about equal to 1 degree. Oops. I'm showing you guys the wrong page here. Here we go. Which is about equal to 1 degree. So what we're going to do is, what I've done is actually figure out what time the sun is going to be the highest in our area. What you can do too is watch the sun, and when it gets to its highest point, you want to know what time it is where you're located and what the difference is between that time and Greenwich Mean Time. So whatever time it is in Greenwich, you're actually going to subtract. So I've said here, our sun is at the highest at 11:50 a.m. In Greenwich, that would actually be 7:50 p.m. And if you're using a 24-hour clock where noon and then 1 o'clock is 13, 2 o'clock is 14, etc., you're actually going to get a time of 1950. Now, you just need to subtract these numbers. So I'm going to say 1950 minus 1150 divided by that special degree number, which is again 0.0667. This gets me about 119, which is actually pretty close. Las Vegas, Nevada is actually at 115 degrees west. And for our latitude, if you're trying that out around the area, it's actually going to be 36 degrees north, give or take. And you can see if you got something similar by using the North Star. So those are ways that we can get longitude and latitude when we don't have all of our electronics at our easy disposal. Now, I have written on here also that the sunset is at 5 p.m. And right now it is almost 2 o'clock here. And the last thing I wanted to show you is another fun way to use your hands as a tool to determine when the sun is going to set. So I can see the sun from this angle, and I have Ozzy's wall in the way. You guys want a big, vast area where you can see the desert or something, where you can see that horizon really well. I kind of know where it is located against Ozzy's wall, and what we're going to do is stretch our arm out as far as possible and put our fingers up. And each finger is going to equal about 15 minutes. So I put up my hand against the horizon here, and I'm going to say, okay, so from the horizon, it's going to be 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. So it's going to be more than 1 hour until sunset. And I'll put another hand on top of it and say, okay, it's more than 2 hours. And that would be about 3 o'clock, right? And then if I put another one, I get up to the sun. So about 3 hours and 45 minutes is what it looks like to me. And that's actually pretty close to when the sun's going to set here. So hopefully those are some interesting, fun, cool things that you guys can try out on your own, just using some simple tools, your hands, and a little bit of math. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. See you next week.